What would you do if the man you loved got down on one knee, asked you to marry him, and made you believe your entire future had finally begun, only to disappear the very next morning? Would you call him again and again? Would you assume something terrible happened? Or would you eventually discover that while he was promising you forever, he was hiding another woman? Stay until the end, because what happened after 30 days was something I never could have imagined. And if you enjoy emotional relationship stories with shocking twists, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel. Now let me tell you what happened. My name is Emma, and I had been dating Ryan for almost 3 years. For 3 years, I believed I knew everything about him. He was the person I called when something good happened. He was the person I wanted beside me when I was scared. We had talked about marriage countless times, although Ryan always told me, when the time is right. So when he suddenly asked me to dress up for dinner one Friday night, I thought it was just another romantic evening. But that night felt different. Ryan barely touched his food. He kept checking his watch, rubbing his hands together, and looking at me like he was trying to memorize my face. Then, after dinner, he took me somewhere overlooking the city. He held my hands. "Emma," he whispered, "I don't want to spend another day imagining my future without you." Then he got down on one knee. I couldn't breathe. He opened a small black box. Inside was the most beautiful ring I had ever seen. "Will you marry me?" I started crying before I could even answer. "Yes." Ryan stood up, hugged me, and kissed me. That night, we talked for hours about our wedding, our future home, even the names we might give our children someday. Before we went to sleep, Ryan looked strangely serious. "There's something else I need to tell you tomorrow," he said. "What is it?" "Tomorrow. I promise." Smiled. I thought it was going to be another surprise. I had no idea it would become the worst day of my life. The next morning I woke up and reached for my phone. No message from Ryan. Called him. His phone was switched off. Waited. An hour passed. Then 3. Then the entire day. Nothing. First I wasn't angry. I was terrified. Called his friends. I called his brother. Nobody knew where he was. But Ryan's car was gone, and his apartment was locked. There was no note. No explanation. Just silence. Days turned into a week. Then 2 weeks. I couldn't understand how someone could propose marriage one night and completely disappear the next morning. Barely slept. Every time my phone rang, I hoped it was him. But it never was. Then, on the 23rd day, I received a message from a friend. "Emma, I think you need to see this." She sent me a photograph. Ryan was standing outside a restaurant. And he wasn't alone. A woman was standing beside him. She was holding his arm. My heart dropped. I stared at the picture until my eyes filled with tears. Then my friend sent another photo. Ryan and the same woman were sitting together inside a cafe. That was when everything suddenly made sense in the worst possible way. Ryan hadn't disappeared because something happened to him. He had disappeared because he had chosen someone else. And the proposal, maybe it had all been a lie. For the next 7 days, I tried to convince myself that there had to be another explanation. But deep down I already knew. Then on the 30th day Ryan came back. I was sitting in my room when I heard a knock on the door. Opened it. Ryan was standing there. He looked exhausted. For a few seconds neither of us spoke. Then I asked the only question that mattered. "Who is she?" Ryan looked down. "Emma, don't," I interrupted. "You disappeared for 30 days after proposing to me. I saw the pictures. Just tell me the truth." He took a breath. "I was seeing her." My heart shattered. "So you cheated on me?" Ryan closed his eyes. "Yes." I felt like the floor had disappeared beneath me. "You proposed to me while you were seeing another woman." "It wasn't like that." "Then what was it like?" Ryan finally sat down and told me everything. The woman was his ex-girlfriend, Sarah. She had contacted him the night before our proposal. She told him she was pregnant. She claimed the baby was his. Ryan panicked. He didn't know what to believe. He was afraid that if he told me immediately, I'd leave him before he could find out the truth. So the next morning he disappeared. For 30 days, he tried to prove whether Sarah was telling the truth. The photographs I'd seen were real. He had been meeting her. He had been talking to her. But he wasn't secretly rebuilding a relationship with her. He was trying to find out whether the baby was his. And after 30 painful days, he finally got the answer. The baby wasn't his. Sarah had lied. Ryan had come back because he realized something. During those 30 days, he had been terrified of losing me. But when he finally stood outside my door, he realized that he had already lost something far more important: my trust. He took the engagement ring from his pocket. "I never stopped loving you," he said. I looked at the ring. 3 weeks earlier, that ring had represented my entire future. Now it felt like a reminder of everything that had broken. "You didn't cheat because you loved her," I whispered. "You betrayed me because you thought you could disappear, figure everything out, and come back whenever you wanted." Ryan's eyes filled with tears. "I know." I took the ring from his hand. He looked at me hopefully. But I didn't put it on. I placed it on the table between us. "I still love you," I said. "But love isn't enough when trust is gone." Ryan stood there silently. Then he nodded. He didn't argue. He didn't beg. He simply walked away. And I never saw him again. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if he had told me the truth that morning. Maybe I would have stayed. Maybe we would have gotten married. Maybe everything could have been different. But I learned something that day. A proposal can give you a ring, can give you hope. It can even make you believe you've found your forever. But only honesty can make that forever last. Tell me, if you were Emma, would you forgive Ryan after everything he did? Or would you walk away even though you still loved him? Let me know your answer in the comments. And if this story made you feel something like this video, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications because there's another story coming that you won't want to miss.